me again, yeah, I'm beating up snotty. Lottie Dottie, you know we bring the party. UEP, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. I take you back to the wild, wild west, boy. Train to go, now we all marching in the snow. We the army, I dare you try to harm me. I'm the leader and I'm bombing for the people.
My name is Adam Pina, P-I-N-A, Cape Verdean. I am a father, a brother, a son, a coach, a world-class coach, a very great son, an outstanding father, I think. I started boxing when I was 7 years old. 7 years old. There was a kid in the neighborhood I used to kind of beat up a little bit, and you know what I mean, he used to bother me. You know what I mean, even though we were 7 years old, but the kid used to bother me, just to make me want to put my hands on him every single time I seen him. And one day he finally told me that he wanted to box me. And the word box me just kind of, because me and my dad, we used to watch Sugar Ray fights and Marvin Hagler fights all the time, just sit there and watch it. And I always kind of had the inspiration from watching the fights with my dad to box. And he took me, I said, yo, we'll be friends. You know what I mean? I had a little negotiation with him. I said, we'll be friends if you show me where you're boxing. I walked in there, I told the coach then that I wanted to box. You know, he was like, all right, well, you know, come back tomorrow or whatever. I was like, all right, okay. No sign, nothing. There's no ramifications to what to do. This is totally unprofessional. So I came back. I came back to the gym and I just started pointing people out that I wanted to box. Just like, you know what, that's what new people do when they come to a gym. Like, I want to box him. I want to box him. You know, I seen the littlest guy there. I said, I want to box that dude right there. They said, all right, put me right in there with him. And I got my ass handed to me. It's just bad, you know, kid pounded me out. I remember running back home. And mind you, that I'm 7 years old and this gym is about 3 miles from my house, okay? And I'm walking home at night. So this is just the determination, just key factor. So I got my ass whooped about 4 times, right? And then finally the last time my dad comes in the room and says, hey, what's the matter with you? And I got like a black eye. And he's like, whoa, what's going on? You know, I'm telling him, I'm like, you know, I'm boxing now. And he's like, you're boxing now. So my father got upset and said, you know what, I'm coming down there. I'm gonna go where you're going to box. So my father gets in the car, he gets me in the car, and he says, show me where this gym's at. I showed him where it was. It was the North End Community Center. Anybody that knows where I'm from, New Bedford, it was the Packer building on Cogsall Street. And my dad walks up the steps, you know, and he points, he's like, show me who the coach is. I said, it's this guy right here, you know? I felt good too, because I felt like I had some backup, you know what I mean? Because I was just getting my ass whipped, everybody was just laughing, and I'm just walking home. Nobody cared about me, you know what I'm saying? I just said, hey, we'll see you next time. Come back tomorrow. Fucking me up, you know? I'm saying, I'm 7 years old. Nobody gave a shit about me. So at the end of the day, long story short, my dad told me he wanted to train me now just to fight the kid that beat me up. So I said, okay, let's do that. But he said, we're gonna train you at the same gym that he's training. The most important thing I learned from boxing was the discipline and knowing that you have to work hard to achieve anything. So the fact that I got beat up in the beginning and I had to train to learn how to box to actually win. You know, this is a process. You get beat up, you train, hopefully you win. That's how that goes. But then you apply that to anything in life. Once I quit boxing, which kept me, I guess, grounded, I just got curious. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say left. I think I got curious, and curiosity kills the cat. Growing up, I always had a praying family. That's number one. I will definitely say that, like on all ends. In my house, we grew up going to church. My aunt was a reverend, and all my aunts were very strong pillars in the church. It's a tough place where I'm from, and you easily can go left or go right. I tried to stay in the middle. So I had some bad friends and I had good friends, you know what I mean? I didn't judge them. I just, I knew what day to hang with my bad friends and what day to hang with my good friends. So I tried to stay in the middle, you know what I mean? As you get older, you start, the women, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. I mean, that's usually what gets everybody. But as far as any dark time that came into my life, as far as darkness, I think it's when the setting of family left me. You know, my dad and mom, they left Massachusetts. I think at that point in my life, I didn't have that. And I was just kind of seeing it my way and seeing things for what it was. And I was around a lot of negativity at the time. So 2009 was a year I found myself in the devil's playground. Situation happened with a group of individuals, some just reckless violence happened to me and family members. And I had to defend myself in a situation where it was deadly. So, you know, deadly force had to be used, and I caught a capital charge, unfortunately. So I had to fight my way through that. And I guess my only way was God. So, you know, no amount of money was probably gonna help me, but God. So that's where my spiritual journey began. I don't think it started there. I think I had the seed of spirituality from my family. You got to be diligent. You know, you can't expect anything to happen when it happens. It's just be diligent. And I was bringing other people to faith. You know, not religion, just to faith. You know, I like saying that because people get religion misconstrued. I feel like this should just be one avenue to God. You know what I mean? Because in the situation that I was in, we was all praying together, regardless, you know? And then just by the grace and mercy, I was acquitted of all charges. And everything was already aligned for me. It was already aligned for me. So now that I'm looking at it, it's almost like my fate and destiny was already written. My dad and my brother Paulie was, they already had a gym. So at that time, I got introduced to coaching. So I was at the gym, but I didn't know. So I just came to the gym and I'm just sitting around. You know what I mean? I'm hitting the bag, but my brother's like, you got to get to work. I can't afford. I mean, I bought you some clothes, but I can't keep buying you clothes. You know what I mean? How you gonna make some money? So I'm like, well, how do I make money then? What do I do? He's like, I'll paint the bathroom. So I said, okay. I never painted a bathroom before, but I'm gonna paint your bathroom. You know what I mean? Well, what's that gonna run me? He's like, oh, well, paint the bathroom. You can take the trash out. I did a few things done around here. Like, oh, hold on. So what am I, a maintenance man? He said, hey, look, I only got a few dollars to disperse. You know what I mean? To contribute to your situation here. I mean, that's all I got for you. What you want? I said, well, what can I? He said, well, you got to find a way to get some clients. He said, well, you see that girl right there? She's doing everything wrong, correct? Fair to say. I said, yeah. Why don't you go over there and just knock on her shoulder real quick and say, hey, let me show you the proper way to do this. He said, you still got it, right? Well, go show her. So I went up to her. Let me show you how to throw that. You're throwing that wrong. It's just, you were just straight. You coming around the corner, just right here. You know what I mean? Just showing her the correct form and things like that. And we built a little flow going. And I just started, just showing her the ropes. Took an hour with her. Just did it. I didn't do nothing else. And then after it was done, she said, hey, do you mind if I see you again? I schedule again with you. So I'm like, schedule again with me? She's like, yeah, tell Paul, just, take it off my card. And I, just talking language it was foreign to me at the time. Just the language of just take it off the card. I was like, I'll schedule with you next week. I'm like, schedule? Paulie taught me everything about the business. I can't lie to you. I would never be here without Paulie at this moment. You know what I'm saying? I could not, with no shape, size, or form, front on that. He taught me, he taught me the blueprint on how to train people and get money through boxing. I wanted to find my niche in the boxing world. Like what was I gonna be, If I wasn't gonna fight, right? So it's like, okay, so now you're gonna be a boxing coach, but what is it that you're gonna bring to the table? Just something unique, And this is when Floyd's uncle was still alive, Roger. And I was watching the pad chemistry with Floyd Mayweather's uncle and Floyd, Roger, God rest his soul, right? They had like a synergy. And I just kept watching it like, wow, that's something that I want to do. So all praises to the Mayweathers, okay? Because without that flow, I wouldn't have been able to create my own flow. See, I had to write my own music to my pad work. I got to put my IQ, because I always studied the sport. I've always been involved with the sport. My family's been involved with the sport. My mother was the local boxing commission president, okay, politically. My dad was the chairman. So I'm just saying, like, the lineage here, you know what I'm saying, as far as just being involved with the sport. I told myself this. I said, look, if I'm gonna do this, I'm going straight to the top with these things. I'm not playing around. And then reached out to Demetrius Andre, to me, pound for pound champ. He is a world champion, 3-time world champion. And I was there with him every belt. You feel me? But for the first, I started showing him my pad work. And he said, I need some of that. I need some of that work. So I said, well, come get it. You know what I mean? But peace and blessings to that young man, because I swear, he still got the O. You know? But yeah, it's me again. Yeah. It is me again. But for the record, I was there, and I was a key component and instrument with 3 world titles with Demetrius Andre, the WBO, former WBO middleweight champion. Yeah. I know coaches that been training for 30 years, ain't never been on that platform, baby. Ain't never sat in the ring with Michael Buffer, man. On the winning side, too. I don't care, you might have been on somebody's undercard. You wasn't that guy, though. You know what I'm saying? You didn't win the world. We did that. I pride myself with my family, my kids. My greatest moment was when I got full custody of my son. And Adam is just the light in my life. He's always been the key, I guess, anchor that held me grounded. Like, look, just in case you want to go left, just in case you want to go right, you gotta stay the course, man, because you got that little boy that loves you and that's waiting for you to make it. You feel me? You gotta build your name. You gotta build who you are. And I'm already in the process of this world-class ring that I'm in. My name's ringing amongst the fight world. Whether it's MMA, whether it's boxing, I don't care what it is. You throw hands, you call him coach. Adam. Just in the process of building and learning the business of a gym, I told myself that I need my own. So now we're here at my own gym. This is mine. This is Doghouse Boxing. You see what's going on here. This is all branded and stamped. You know what I'm saying? We're at Doghouse. It came to the point where Doghouse Boxing had to get open, and it did. We had a grand opening. We did that with the community. We did that with the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, we did that correctly. When I say we because I mean my family, my wife, my sons, my brother. They were all part of that moment for me. So I got 4 sons. I got Adam Jr., I got Cairo, and I got Amir. And I also have a stepson, Nael. You know what I'm saying? I take that very serious. Family, God. I mean, what's your purpose if you ain't holding that down? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of contribution can I give to another person if I'm not grounded in these key elements or values and principles? Where it's God, am I a good father? Am I a good man? Am I a good son? I have to have these things all complete even to be a coach. You can't lack in those departments and bring value to anybody else. I don't chase the light anymore. I don't chase that big fight or that big moment anymore. What I do chase is the glory in people. I like bringing the best out of people, anybody. It could be a broken little girl that gets bullied, a shy young man, just a weak individual. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, in people, in my community, I train anybody that wants to learn how to box and watching the difference in their life. Like, for instance, I had a little girl that was bullied and I trained her to where she overcomes her bully. Now that to me is a world title. They want to overcome something in life. because your biggest opponent is life. Opponent is life. It's not who's standing in front of you. Sometimes it's the man in the mirror. So who you can help is if as long as I'm helping you, I'm doing my job. And that's a title. That's a win. So I'm doing this for not just the sport of boxing, but for my community. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody benefits from this. This is something that everybody can find their self-awareness and confidence from. Well, I'm Coach Adam, world-class boxing coach, Coach Adam. You can find me in Woodstock, Georgia at Doghouse Boxing. Doghouse Boxing on Facebook, Doghouse Boxing and Fitness on Facebook, and doghouseboxing.fitness on Instagram. So let me give a big shout out to my man DEEPINO, DEEPINO.com. Stop playing with him, man. You see what's going on here, man. We popping big collars over here. Big collars. Stop playing. You know what it is.